Check it out.
Yes, the ascension can be stopped. In fact, it has been stopped before. Ascension Day, which marks the end of the ascension process, occurs on May 29, 2025. The ascension can be halted during the transcendence process using the Stop Transcendence command.
She has control over it. She has control. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. I'm Nurse Dre, and we like to look at some crazy, creepy conspiracy theories and creepy videos from TikTok, YouTube, wherever the fudge. Anyways, if the universe has led you here in a crazy twist of fate, please do hit that subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. Let's get on with it. Kitty wanted to join the party. Say hi, Kitty. Say hi. Hi.
You're gonna have to watch it and let me know what you think. I've never seen anything like this myself personally. If y'all missed it, watch his shadow. I'm gonna slow it down.
Oh, it's like a hunched over creature looking thing.
Now that video is still up on her page if you want to go see it for yourself. What do y'all think? I've never seen a shadow move like this.
So I just checked the
How do you go
Mandela
from-
effect for Richard Simmons. Sure enough, if you his name with 2014, it shows you that death date. But when you click on it, it shows you this.
Look at the bottom one. 2013.
From clausemaster.com. Time cannot be stopped.
Alexa, can the ascension be stopped?
Yes, the ascension can be stopped. In fact, it has been stopped before. Ascension Day, which marks the end of the ascension process, occurs on May 29, 2025. The ascension can be halted during the transcendence process using the Stop Transcendence command, which will reset all the progress made during the ascension.
This is witchcraft.
Wait a second. Did y'all get that? Like, the ascension can be stopped and it starts in 2027? So is what we're going through right now the beginning of the ascension process for everyone? Or just for the chosen? Or just for people waking up? Or everyone?
The people say this is witchcraft. Maybe she's an alien. No one knows what's going on here. This is really crazy. Check this out. Pay very close
La
attention.
vraie vidéo de la femme possédée du 77 non censuré.
Pay very close attention here.
Ça arrive un peu, mais là c'est carrément fort.
She has control over it. She has control
The
over it.
heck is going on here, guys? Look at that. People are freaking out about it. Now, this is the part of the video where they're going to try to help her stay put on the ground. Pay very close attention.
Mais ouais, je suis trop à l'aise, c'est pas de la sorcellerie. C'est pas de la sorcellerie. C'est bon, madame.
Okay, that's freaky. I don't know. I thought she jumped up and she could control it, but that makes me think, okay, now she's going up with one leg, not being held down, and I don't know, man.
What is going on here, guys? I want to know your take. Is this the real deal? Witchcraft? Is she an alien? What is going on here? People seem to be freaking out about it.
She acts like she doesn't even know. Like, this is the first time that's happened to her, you know?
Ty Hirsch piece. Here's the cliff notes. Obama colludes with Nancy Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer. Sunday morning calls Biden and says, you're done. Kamala's gonna 25th Amendment you, and you gotta step aside.
And who places the call?
Obama.
Obama does.
So Obama calls the sitting president and tells him, you're done. Then tells Kamala Harris, you're gonna be the nominee, but if you don't gain traction, if you're not popular, we're gonna take you out too. I mean, it's all shocking. It sounds true.
If, in fact, the 25th Amendment is worthy of being invoked.
Yes.
If his condition is such that it needs to be invoked, and then they don't invoke it, then they're leaving the country in a precarious position of being led by a man not in possession of his faculties. If, on the other hand, it's not worthy of being invoked, then they've used an extortive threat.
Yes.
To oust the guy who's at the top of the ticket, who's the current incumbent president. That's not okay. I'm pretty sure that qualifies in some way as extortion.
Ziggy, when's the first time Richard Simmons died?
The date of death for Richard Simmons is February 20th, 2014. He was 57 years old when he died.
Not necessarily. 10 years later, he died again. Okay. Straight bullshit. How many of y'all are sick of hearing that one screaming track go over every scary video? I'm so over it. I can't. And the guy before that, do y'all think that was staged? Or do you think he really can levitate shit with his hands? I mean, I'm starting to think that some of these people really do have superpowers.
Okay, so I still cannot get over, like, the fact that I know that I was in another, like, dimension or parallel universe or something. So this morning, I woke up around, like, 5 in the morning, and usually I wake up about 6:30, like, naturally. And I, of course, like, get on my phone, I'm just, like, looking through things, whatever, and I just close it out, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back to sleep. I don't know what happened, but it turned into, like, me flying into this airport and landing in a place where I have absolutely no idea, like, where I'm at. It looked like a World War Z, like, destructive type place. It was very dark. There was no light. There's no sun. It's just, like, everything was gloomy. So yeah, everything was gloomy, and I see, like, some kids that I used to teach, that I recognize them getting off the school bus and walking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I know those kids. Now, mind you, I know while I'm there, I know I'm in a place that I'm not familiar with. I am this age that I am now, but when I taught these kids that I see in this world that I'm in, they are the age that they were when I first met them. So I think right now they're probably about 18, 19, but when I taught them, this was about, I don't know, almost 10 years ago. And yeah, so I'm like waving to them, but they look at me like they know who I am, but it isn't the way that I know them in this reality, because I used to teach them. They kind of wave or whatever, and then it was kind of like, I know you, but I don't really know you, but, like, I really have. So anyways, I recognize this other lady, and she starts talking to me, asking me about, like, this past relationship that I personally have not been in for many, many years. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, that was done a long time ago. And she's like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, why are you asking me about that? And so then I call I see a phone, and I call someone who, you know, exists in this world now. And I was like, first of all, how the heck am I able to call from a whole other dimension to this person? And I'm like, you know, I don't know where I'm at, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, I don't know where you're at, and I don't see your location. And I'm like, that's because I'm in a whole nother world. Like, get me out of here. Like, I have no idea what's going on. And it was just, like, so freaky. He was able to send me, like, stuff through a portal. I was receiving things, but I wasn't able to like leave. And I was like, you have to, it sounds, so anyways, I am trying to keep him awake because he's falling asleep. And I was like, okay, the only way that you can bring me back is if you literally like channel some way, somehow, to bring me into your dreams, or I don't know. I honestly, like, I was like so freaked out because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to come back. I was walking around trying to find like a place to stay, like a shelter or something, and I kept running into like these staircases that I could see stacked on top of each other, but they were not connected, and I don't know what that means. But to know that you are somewhere very unfamiliar, there's one thing to dream. I have dreams all the time, and sometimes they're like a little intense, whatever, but it's not like this. This was something else. This was like same people that I know in this reality, but they were aged, like they were not aged as much as anyways, like I said, they were not aging, or at least when I saw them, it was like they hadn't aged since I had first seen them, but I was this age now. And going back to, you know, this phone conversation, I'm like, you know, I'll do whatever, but this is the part that like really freaked me out. I don't know who or what it was told me, you know too much, and so we had to take you out of there because you know too much. I don't know if that means like stop with the stuff that I'm saying to people and trying to wake them up or whatever, or if that means like you're good over there, now you have to come spread the message over here. I don't know what, but I was like crying. I was crying when I woke up. I was crying in my dream. I'm not even gonna call that a dream. I don't even know what it was, but because I was like, where am I and how do I get out? Anyways, y'all, you know how sometimes whenever you are dreaming, you have like flashes of scenes and scenery. So I had all these bits and pieces, but I know I was in another world, another reality with people who I knew, which I feel like it confirms to me that we do have parallel universes, which means there are other versions of you that exist. They're just, and you have these people who you know in this reality, and you also know them in a different reality, but it's just you didn't meet them the same way. The relationships aren't the same, but you have a connection still. And this is what I felt there. There's a movie called Parallel, like y'all have to see it. I always talk about this movie all the time because I'm like, there has to be some kind of validity to this, because there's no way that other people have experienced this and there's not some truth behind it.
Wow. Have y'all ever had a dream like that, or like some kind of experience where you traveled to another place in time or another kind of universe, or even had a dream that was apocalyptic that kind of like just freaked you the fudge out? Let me know in the comments below. I have got to hear these stories. I love it. I eat it up.
So I had the most outrageous dream last night.
Okay, look, I know it sounds crazy. But I am convinced that we are able to access our parallel lives or parallel timelines or whatever it is via our dreams. I know that that's not all dreams are, but I think that it happens pretty fucking regularly. I don't have another explanation for it. I've been saying this for years to anybody who will listen, and I know people think I'm crazy, right? I remember about 17, 18 years ago was when it really started, that idea really started to germinate for me, because there was about like a 2 or 3 year period where I was having dreams that were basically other versions or alternate versions of my real life. You know, like in my real life, I'm going to work, hanging out with my friends, cleaning my apartment, going grocery shopping, and I would go to bed, and almost every night I would have a dream of me doing, like, living this same regular everyday life, but everything was just slightly different. And it would be like I would have these conversations with people in my dream, right? And then I would wake up and I'd go about my day, and I would have like flashes of these conversations that I had in my dream life with people, and it got to the point where I couldn't remember, like, did I have this conversation in real life, or did I have this conversation in dream life, right? And then over the years, they've gotten more and more intense, and sometimes they wane. I might not have them for a while, but then I will go through like 2 or 3 month periods where I'm just like going to bed and waking up or going to sleep and having these dreams where I'm fully living a different life, like having a child, having a family, going on like adventurous trips, like things I would never do in real life, right? And around 2020, the dreams started to really get intense, and they would kind of like bleed over. Like, when you have those phases, and I'm sure there's a term for it, but you're kind of like half asleep, half awake, where I would be kind of like half awake, but I could like feel myself being like cuddled by someone, like somebody was in bed with me, like with their arms around me, and I could hear like music playing. One time, I still remember this was in 2020, I woke up or was half awake, and I could feel like a whole body pressed against mine with their arms around me, and it didn't feel threatening at all. It felt like the way you would sleep with someone that you're in a romantic relationship with. And I could also hear the television playing the news, and it was Brian Williams on the news. And I woke up when I finally like came to. I was so unsettled, and I laid there for a while, and I had to pick up my phone and Google when was the last time Brian Williams was a television anchor, right? And this was like in the morning, and he wouldn't have been the morning news anchor, but I could hear it so clearly, and I could feel, and it was just like I was waking up. I was like I was straddling this line between waking up in my current life and waking up in my whatever this other life is. I've had dreams over the years where I had a son, and it pops up every so often, every like 5 or 6 years. I'll have this dream where I am with my son, and he always looks the same, and I wake up, and as soon as I realize that he is not there and he doesn't exist, I am devastated. I am absolutely devastated. I can picture this little boy in my mind's eye right now, and even thinking about it, like just for a brief second, like almost brings me to tears, because all I can think of is there is a version of me out there somewhere that has a son, that has a child, right? I've read the lamp story on Reddit. I've read other stories on Reddit that are similar to that. If you haven't heard of the lamp story, you should look it up. And I know that that's slightly different. That's related to like a traumatic brain injury, like or being unconscious or whatever. But I think there has to be a link. There has to be something similar. I've also had dreams where I think I have stepped into like future parallel timelines, or timelines of myself in the future. I also have dreams where I get messages for other people. That's been happening a lot more, I'd say, over the last 2 or 3 years. Like people I work with who I'm not really friends with, or people that are like acquaintances, and I have these dreams that are so like crystal clear, and it's clearly a message, and I feel like I have to go tell them this. It's just, there's something else going on, and I every so often, like, I'll start trying to read, like, okay, so is this a thing? Like, is there any research on this? Like, am I just living in a fantasy world? And all of the things I've read lead me back to like dreams are just your subconscious dumping. And yeah, we all have those dreams. Like I have dreams where it's definitely just thoughts of things that are happening throughout my regular day, right? Yeah, but I feel like there's something else going on too.
Absolutely. Look, I've had those dreams too. Well, not really dreams, but like, I don't know what to call them. You just kind of fall into this other world, and then when you come back to this world, things are slightly different. I had this one like time that I was like on this medication, and it was so weird. Like I would fall asleep and things would be different. Every time I would fall asleep during this time I was on this medication, I would go to this place where like this guy was trying to murder me, and he would murder me every time, but then like try to save me. and he was hitting me on the head, and I was bleeding. I felt the blood coming down my face, like I would feel myself dying. One of the times I got sucked up into a tornado, and I could feel myself floating, but like I would always die. And every time I would come back, I would wake up and come back to this reality, and things would be slightly different. Like my car, the seat in my car would be slightly off. So I always have my car saved, like the seat saved, because I always move it when I'm like taking a nap or something, whatever. And I'll push the button to go right back where it's supposed to go. Yeah, where it always goes back where it's supposed to go, but not this time. It was going back. It did not work out for me. It wasn't the right spot, so I'd have to scoot it up or whatever. And then I would wake up the next day and it would be in the wrong place again. And it was insane. So yeah, let me know if you guys have anything like that going on down below. Crazy.
What a seraphim is?
No.
So it's a...
Okay.
Do you think he knows what a seraphim is?
You guys have such good vocabulary.
Okay, so a seraphim is a heavenly creature, and it looks terrifying. It's basically described as 6 wings with eyes and like an eye in the middle. So like something like that.
Yeah, if I saw that in a dream, we'd be talking to somebody immediately.
Well, how about seeing it in real life? Because in Mexico, at like this airport, these people were like filming something in the sky. You see that? That's so scary. The thing that looks like an eye in the middle is just like moving around. Like it makes sense though, like in scripture, when the seraphim and stuff would come to these prophets, they literally thought they were going to die. They would say, do not fear. Yeah. When you see that, you're just like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. This is what they saw in Mexico. And then this is an artist's interpretation.
Yeah, exactly like it. So it's either someone's trying to make something look exactly like that.
There'll be signs in the sky.
My goodness.
It's true.
Have you guys heard about these drones or the orbs that look like a wheel within a wheel of eyeballs? I have seen some of them, and when you pause them, like they'll be flashing, but when you take a screenshot, like there you can see eyes in them. Maybe I'll insert one here if I can find it, but yeah, really creepy. But they say those are the opophims, I don't know, some kind of angel that Ezekiel saw, a wheel within a wheel of eyeballs. And that's what people are seeing now in the sky with the drones and the orbs and stuff. Like, oh my God, shit's getting real. Shit's hitting the fan out here in these streets. Okay, while you watch this video, notice that the fact that you can see stars shining through the moon and the dark side of the moon. Why is that? Why can you see that? See stars through the moon, where the moon is supposed to be. Like, that's half the moon chopped off right there. And that's the other side supposed to be the moon. But you can see through it. Crazy.
If you plan on sleeping tonight, please don't watch this. Also, if you just smoked a large bowl of cereal, please don't watch this. Put it in your saved folders for later, when you got time. Because you're going to need a lot of time to think about stuff. Because this is about to fuck your whole world up. Okay, so one thing we need to be honest about as a species is that we don't really understand death, or if it even happens at all. And I know what you're thinking, sure we do, we bury them, there's plenty of dead people, but we don't really know what happens or where that person or their consciousness went. But science has a lot of weird discoveries that might all add up with the advancement of technology and might give us some answers as to what happens after we die. And we're throwing around this idea of uploading our consciousness to the cloud and downloading it back into a new body or a cloned body or a robot. What if that's what we're doing? What if that's what the person who died, what if that's what they did? A lot of us are also considering the idea that reality might be a highly intelligent virtual reality simulation. So if it's highly advanced technology, wouldn't it be something that works a little bit like uploading your mind to a cloud and downloading it back instantly? You're not doing it, it's highly advanced technology, it's all automatic. And also parallel universes is a thing, but why? That could explain where the consciousness goes. You see, you don't die, but maybe in this lifetime you didn't quite make it, you weren't really going anywhere. So you transferred over into a parallel universe and kept going. If this is a simulation, we're inputting data here to try and find out the outcome. And if the simulation is giving us nothing, we might as well transfer over into another simulation in another parallel universe. So what I'm saying is that in the future, when we experience virtual reality simulations that are so close to reality that that's what we understand that reality really is, and when we start to uploading our minds to the cloud and re-downloading them down into a highly advanced robotic structure or another cloned body, are we going to understand that there is no such thing as death? Are we going to be able to transfer our minds over into a parallel universe? Because dying and chilling in the clouds with Jesus doesn't make any sense. Doesn't really solve anything or have a purpose. But transferring into a universe until you keep going until you ascend and figure out the question of all questions, which is what you're here to do, who am I, makes a lot more sense. So there's no such thing as death, possibly. They just transferred over into a parallel universe and kept going. Bon voyage, see you on the other side. If you watch this before bed, I warned you. Good night.
Yeah, so what if we go to sleep every night and every day we change into a new reality? Okay, so you go to sleep, but when you wake up in the morning, it's a completely new reality, but you don't know that because your memories of this reality have uploaded to you by that morning. So you could have a completely different mom and dad, completely different wife, husband, children in this new reality that you never had yesterday. But you don't know that because all these memories were uploaded overnight and now you're in a different reality.
Okay, so that I stay safe and I can come back and I stay alive, I want to tell you something. I will give you a hint to what he showed me. It's going to happen. And you have to get rid of these metals in your body. And I know exactly how to do it very easily. If you want to do it fast and quick, it would be green drinks. There's something with chlorophyll that has to do with, it matches, it's very close to your blood in its structure. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so you have to have a carrier that will grab things and take them out of your body, okay? So if you want to know what's going to happen, and it could happen tomorrow, it could happen, but they're going to say it's something else. You're going to have to do your own thinking about this. I don't want to get in trouble, but just stick a piece of foil in a microwave and picture that in your body. Because you can't see a microwave, but you can see the results of it when it's present. And you know to not put foil in the microwave because you just do it once, and then you have a fireworks show that the neighbors talk about. Because frequencies affect different things. And if something is coming that is intentional, if it hits something that stops it, then it starts to heat up because of resistance. If it can't flow through you, then it starts to cook. And that's what I saw. It's pending. They're going to say it's something else. This is evil. There's all kinds of stuff. They're finding content on the ground and everywhere. We don't know even how this barium and all this stuff is getting here. But it's like dropping out of the sky. It's everywhere. Why all these heavy metals? Where is it coming from? The bottom line is, yeah, I know. Don't please, we know that. But bottom line is, you got to get this out of your body. They've been developing these weapons with frequencies for a long time. So these frequencies that fry electronics, and they're already. I can't say anything. I apologize, but you just go out and look around where you live, because it's coming. But if there's nothing in you, so Jesus said that the evil one's coming, but he has nothing in me. So that's what I'm trying to tell you without telling you. I mean, this is coming too, and I know half of you probably won't believe it. I'm just believing that you will. But the technology is already here. You need You need to shield your phone at night. You need to turn it off. You need to shield it and get it away from you. What's coming is advertisements through your phone on the wavelength that your brain can receive it. It's already out. I'm just telling you. You wouldn't even. I mean, I can't say it but it's a. You got one right down the street. They're already going to do it. They've already announced it. The technology. They're going to advertise through your phone, and you're going to pick it up here.
So we already know that the phones are reading our minds. They're listening to us because if we think we talk about something, we see an ad for it later on. However, McDonald's did come out and say that they were going to start doing that, using the phone technology to advertise to us in our sleep, meaning voice to skull technology is in our phones right now. And the best way to get away from this is to get a Faraday cage. A Faraday cage wrapped around your phone, or the best thing to do if you don't have the money to buy a Faraday cage. So a Faraday cage is something that is going to block the signal to your phone, therefore blocking signals out of your phone, okay? Which is really important. But you can also wrap it a couple of times, like several layers in tinfoil, and just keep it on your desk or your lamp at night, you know, wherever you keep your phone. Do not sleep with your phone, please. But just wrap it in some tinfoil. The alarm will still go off, but you won't be advertised to with voice to skull technology in your sleep, and you won't be getting all of those microwaves transmitted through your brain all night long as you try to sleep and have these dreams that, you know, we're changing consciousnesses and we're changing realities and all of that, you know. So, yeah, I hope you got on. And like you said, they're going to call it something else. Something happens in your body that nobody knows. It's a mysterious disease. Is it contagious? Nobody knows.
Basically, I was told that this deposit had the creative force of the entire universe.
After I started taking this, I started plucking thoughts out of people's heads. The weirdest synchronicities have started to happen. We're all manifesting our own realities at all times. This is a catalyst. Check it out in the TikTok shop, and here we go.
8 years ago in the desert, outside Las Vegas, Pat Bailey discovered completely by accident strange white powder.
We had geologists go out there, and they determined that this site was a meteorite impact that happened 11,600 years ago. That was interesting, that the soil was all white. I took it to a lab and had an ICAP analysis done on it, which basically can tell you every little aspect, every little element, every element that's in the sample, and it looked just like common clay.
Pat believed he had found an Ormus deposit and began producing an Ormus-based health supplement.
Sean Adams, the director of the Alpha Learning Research Center, wanted to do some preliminary laboratory testing on it. 3 or 4 days after sending out the product, I get a call from him, and he goes, "Man, you know what you got here?" And I said, "Well, I think so. I've been selling it, you know, for 4 or 5 years, whatever the case was." And he goes, "You don't have the slightest idea what you got here." And I said, "Okay, Sean, why don't you tell me what I got here?" And he basically said that I charge people $5,000 for a week seminar to teach them how to get in the alpha state of brainwave activity. And all I have to do is give someone one capsule of your stuff, and they're automatically there, just like that. Everyone was experiencing a metaphysical type of effect with it. The electromagnetic lab determined that the exact same vortexes that take place when energy transforms itself into matter is inherent in every grain of this stuff. So.
Okay, so that was Ormus Gold. If you haven't heard of that before, it's great. Great to clean your pineal gland, to decalcify your pineal gland. And it takes like 30 days or something. And you just stick it under your tongue and hold it there for a few seconds, swallow it, move on with your life, you know, chase it with some DP or something. It doesn't taste that bad, but I've used it before. I can tell you for myself that same Ormus Gold is exactly what you need to get if you want to, you know, travel through the stars at night, astral travel, lucid dream, just decalcify your pineal gland so you can reach those higher levels of consciousness. It's linked in the description below if anybody wants some. If you want to support my channel, I make a tiny ass commission off of it. It's down there though, but it does work for real. Good. What is that? Is that a person sitting or standing in the sky? Like what? that noise? No? It's shape-shifting. I don't know, man. I don't know. Angel film flying through sky. Maybe. Looks like an ice skate. Ice skate. Boot. I don't know what that is. That's an angel for sure. Oh, wow. Weird.
It's happening. We saw these all over Washington. Now, some of these other people sent to me, but we all saw the same thing all around town. Check it out.
Follow to see more.
Alright guys, that's it. Sorry it's a little bit of a short video today. I've got to get on to go hang out with my daughter for her birthday. However, if the universe has led you here in a crazy twist of fate, please do hit that subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. Thank you all for hanging out with me again. I will see you next time. Bye!